All right, what's going on, guys? Adam Ivy, AdamIvy.com. Sorry if I look a little busted. I just got home from the gym like a half an hour ago. It's like 10 o'clock p.m., December 30th, 2016, and I need to make this video. I've been thinking about doing it for about a week now, and either it's procrastination or I just finally got my ass in gear and I'm doing it. So what I want to do is I want to run through my year 2016 with you to kind of get you a behind the sneak peek of what I've been up to, as well as it's a little self-serving because I can go back and watch this video next year and see how far I've come. So it's a way of me documenting my progress, documenting some happenings in my life, and being able to share that with you. It's very important to me, and one of my goals in 2017 is to be more accessible, be more transparent, and be able to show you guys maybe a different side of me that you haven't seen, a less polished. I don't think I've ever been polished, but you get what I'm saying. Not scripted, not perfect. The lighting doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just sitting in my living room. I got stuff behind me, my couch. But yeah, I want to talk about 2016. I'm going to try to keep the pacing up so it doesn't get boring. So let's just jump right into it. In January of 2016, some of you might know, a lot of you might not know, I had surgery, laparoscopic surgery, to repair a hernia that I have in my abdomen. And I say I have because they put surgical mesh in there, but it never really heals completely. The surgical mesh just kind of fixes the issue. I was born with an abdominal hernia when I was born, and it finally became a problem last year in about October. I was at the gym, I was doing some exercises, and I felt a burning sensation right here, right above my belly button. And what had happened was my abdomen never bonded, never fused together as I was growing up. So I had this little teeny hernia. Imagine, this being the abs and everything behind it being your guts and all that good stuff. Well, mine never bonded in a certain area. So with enough pressure, that stuff kind of gets pushed out. It's gross, but that's what an abdominal hernia is, at least in my case. So in October, being at the gym, I was putting a little bit too much pressure on my core, trying to stay in good form on an exercise, and just tore it a little bit and really aggravated it. And from that day all the way to when I got it fixed, anytime I would eat a little bit too much food or drink too much water, whatever, it would really irritate it. And that was, I'm not going to sit here and make it sound dramatic. It sucked. It sucked. So in January, I had that fixed. It took about 3 or 4 months before I could get back in the gym. I had lost a ton of weight. Everybody was asking me if I was sick. I don't think I posted a lot of videos around that time because I just looked lethargic. I felt lethargic, really. And people were asking me, like I said, if something was kind of terminally wrong with me. That's how sickly I looked. But I'm good now. Everything's great. I had a great surgeon fix me up. And after about 6 to 8 months, I don't really ever feel bothered by it. It did take a while. I was paranoid that it wasn't fixed, but I'm good to go now, and I've been in the gym working out and giving it a lot of effort and not having any issues. So this year, one thing that was super important to me was being able to travel. Now, as I get a little bit older, it's important to me to have face-to-face time with people, right? We can talk to them on the phone, we can email, we can do everything else besides spend time with them, and it's not going to be the same as spending time with them. So me growing up in central Wisconsin, in a very tight-knit family, we didn't travel. We didn't really travel at all. So me living in Orlando is one thing, but I want to continue to explore. I want to continue to adventure. That's kind of in my scope of what success is, being able to just be a kid for your entire life and explore and see whatever the hell you want to see. So I still haven't been able to travel outside of the country. That's one thing that I want to tackle here in 2017. But in 2016, I was incredibly fortunate to be able to travel to Wisconsin twice, including in September when I got to meet my brand new niece. She is just the most adorable thing ever. And I got to travel to Chicago, Rhode Island, Nashville, Boston, New York City for the first time ever, which was awesome. Where else? Las Vegas twice, which I did a vlog a few months ago with one of my Vegas trips. So if you want to go check that out, you can kind of get a feel for what we all did, my friend Zach and I, when I was on that trip. So that was really just an awesome experience, being able to take that many trips for obviously different variants in time, meet new people, meet some of my friends that I met online that I had never met in person. That was really eye-opening to me, and it really was inspiring to see how people live and see how people grind and hustle and work in person, and not just the Instagram and Facebook stuff. So that was really, really awesome. Now, one thing that I want to talk about is I thought, and this is getting kind of deep, but I thought that I had been dealing with depression for a long time. And that's something you guys didn't see. It's a side of me that I tried not to, show publicly. But I went through a breakup last year, 2015, in I think July. And I had felt quote unquote depressed for a while. And it's something that I kind of just kept to myself. I didn't know what it was. I felt like maybe I was just being hard on myself. I felt like maybe I wasn't getting enough sleep, because I typically don't or didn't sleep enough. But what I discovered, well, let's rewind just like a couple steps back. So earlier this year, after I got my surgery, after I found some new things to be super excited about, I realized that I'm feeling tired all the time. I could sleep for 10 or 12 hours, wake up, and I could take a nap. Literally, I could wait. And when I was doing this, I was waking up after I slept in, eating breakfast or what have you, and then I'd lay on the couch and fall back asleep for like 3 hours. And something just wasn't right. I felt just not motivated. I felt like a lazy piece of crap, and that's not me. If any of you know me, that is not me. I'm like a workaholic. It's what I thrive on. And I finally, I'm stubborn. I'll put that out there too. I think I can fix myself and it's all in my head, which maybe it is. I don't know. But I finally went to the doctor and I said, look, I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like I'm engaging with my friends the way I used to. I don't feel like working. I'm not happy with my job. I'm not happy with what I'm doing in my personal life. I don't feel fulfilled. I'm tired all the time. I'm literally falling asleep at stoplights, living off of energy drinks. And it was just like my body was immune to energy drinks. So they had me do blood work. And I've done so much blood work in the last 6 months, guys. It's ridiculous. Probably 8 times. And they discovered that it wasn't depression. Well, maybe that ties into it. I feel great now, but it was hypothyroidism. My thyroid is not working correctly. And what that is it's not producing enough hormones. I'm not a doctor, so if I'm off, if there's a doctor in the audience watching this right now, you can correct me. I've been to the doctor a million times, so I know a little bit. So I have hypothyroidism, borderline Hashimoto's disease. They think I might have Hashimoto's disease, but I'm going to say I don't, because I don't want to be like, oh, I have a disease. It's just an autoimmune deficiency disease where your thyroid can't produce the right amount of hormones. Therefore, you're not getting what your body needs to be awake and be focused and alert and driven and all these different things. And that was just like, I didn't get emotional. I don't get emotional that often anymore, and maybe that's because of the hypothyroidism. But it was just a very profound moment in my life to realize that for over a year, probably like 2 years, guys, I didn't feel like doing anything. And I wasn't happy. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I mean, there was pockets of it. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't just miserable all the time, but I was just like, I felt off. I didn't feel like myself. And knowing that something chemically was wrong with me and I could do something about it felt so good. I became optimistic instantly. So, excuse me. So they got me on a prescription drug for the hypothyroidism. And that had some side effects, and I'm not going to go into that right now. I am living my life with hypothyroidism. And some of the side effects of it are insomnia, weight gain, being fatigued all the time, being irritable, and have mood swings. And it pretty much turns you into a woman. I'm just kidding. Oh, I might have to cut that part out. I think only like 11% of my audience is women though. So I apologize. I'm just totally kidding. I'm trying to make light of this kind of shitty situation. So I hope you found that funny. But anyway, let's get back to the story. So I got on some medication and it worked. Finally, I was able to jump out of bed and feel energetic again and eat a little bit more without instantly gaining weight. I found myself just feeling more optimistic, more driven, and just focused. I was getting rid of that brain fog that that had been so profound in my life, so right at the forefront. It just felt good. It felt really good. And I started dealing with the side effects, like almost instantly, of these synthetic hypothyroidism hormone pills, or whatever you call them. Long story short, I've been on like a natural substitute, like a natural supplement to pretty much do the same thing as the synthetic drugs, and it's really working. I think I'm going to go get more blood work done to kind of dial it in and make sure that everything's good, but I feel really, really good compared to how I did even a few months ago, or especially like this time last year. So that's something that I've been dealing with behind the scenes, and it's not that big a deal. It's really not. But imagine always feeling tired. Imagine like not wanting to do anything. Imagine that your passions for music, your passions for cooking, or whatever your passions are, gardening, working on vehicles, souping up cars, all that good stuff. Imagine if your biggest passion, you didn't give a shit about it anymore. Your relationships, when somebody's talking to you, when somebody's telling you how they feel about life, or telling, venting to you, you're listening and you're looking at them in the face like I'm looking at you, but you're very uninterested. You don't have that deep rooted connection. It's just like you're thinking about, I better check Facebook, or, what else could I be doing with my time right now? And that's not healthy. That really bothered me. So with that being said, let's move on. All right, don't mind me. I made a list. I don't want to forget anything. What next? Okay, so in April of 2016, I went up to Wisconsin and spent some time with family for my birthday. And while I was there, my little brother, David, he's in his mid-20s, so he's not really little, asked me if I wanted to go golfing with him. Now, I don't own clubs. I have never really been officially golfing before, just the driving ranges and, putt-putt. So I borrowed some clubs, and I went golfing for the first time with David, and I had a ton of fun. And right then and there, I was like, I need to get myself a set of clubs. Being here in Orlando, there is a million different golf courses that range from super expensive, fancy, professional, to real affordable, and, just very convenient because there's like a million different courses here. So I got some clubs when I got back. And this year in 2016, I've been golfing probably about 12 times. I'm actually going golfing tomorrow morning. I totally suck. I'm horrible. I am horrible at golfing. But the great thing about it is it's like a mental game, right? Well, it's physical too, but you get what I'm saying when it comes to, you're not playing other people. You're trying to improve yourself. And if you follow me on social media, you know that I'm all about self-improvement. So why not do it with a sport, a technical sport like golf? And that brings me to July, when I finally decided to buy a new car. Well, it's not new, but it's new to me, so that's all that matters. I bought a Mercedes E350. It's a few years old, but it has super low miles. It's in mint condition, and it's the exact color combination that I had been looking for a few months. It was between charcoal gray and white, but I couldn't find a white one with black interior, and I didn't want to get a white one with tan interior, because to me, it's not my style. So I got a charcoal gray E350 with black interior, pretty much all the options. Besides, I'm gonna vent right now. So my car doesn't have a folding back seat. You know how annoying that is? It has all these other options that I'm never going to use. It has this thing in the back where like the curtain comes up in case the sun is just like glaring at you in the back window, which I don't know if that actually happens, or if you want to feel like a boss. You do kind of feel like a boss when you push the button and like the shade thing goes up, but the back seat doesn't fold down. It's like, it's mind-blowing to me. Like you could go buy a Kia Forte and the back seat folds down. But maybe people that drive those type of cars typically don't haul around stuff. Maybe I'm like the exception. I don't know. I almost bought a Jeep. I almost bought a Jeep Wrangler. But anyway, that's a different story. So the back seat doesn't fold down, and I found that out. I found that out the day that I bought like a 6-foot tall mirror at IKEA. And I made it work. Anyway, that's a whole different story. I'm getting off subject. So like I said, I bought the car in July, so I've had it for 5 or 6 months now. Absolutely love it. Haven't had any issues with it. Wait, no, I had to replace a battery, but that's pretty minor. And maintenance on the thing, believe it or not, is not nearly as expensive as you would think it would be for a $64,000 car. I didn't pay $64,000. Like I said, I bought it gently used with low miles. But it's surreal. It's really surreal to be in a car that at one point was like your dream car, really. Now, not to sound greedy, but like my dream car now is like, you know, a Lamborghini Huracan or a, you know, Italia 458s, you know, those types of cars, which I'm on a projection to get, and that's my goals. I always keep them rolling. But, you know, just 5 or 6 years ago, guys, like 2010, really, I can almost taste it eating ramen noodles and tuna and eggs. That's all the food I had. That is all the food I had. And opening your apartment door to an eviction notice being on there, essentially an eviction notice saying, if you don't pay, like, you need to leave because you're 2 or 3 months behind on the rent, and the auto finance place is calling you, telling you to surrender the vehicle, and all you can do is say, come get it, because you don't have any gas in it to go surrender it. And it's just crazy. It's just really crazy. It's just crazy. And that's just like, never want to be there again. Never want to be there again. But it's just a testament of working hard and believing in yourself and going after what you believe in. Now I might have a used Mercedes, big effing deal, right? It's no big deal, but it's symbolism to me that my hard work and my focus and my vision and my ideas, they matter. And you could make something of yourself. You could carve a lane when everybody tells you that you can't, when everybody tells you that you're delusional, when people tell you that, you know, you might as well, you know, give up and go get a job at a car lot so you can make a little bit of money. Like, I've been told these things. And you can't expect anyone to see your vision because it's behind your eyes. So what you have to do is you have to go for it, man. You have to fucking go for it. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be by any means. 2016 overall was awesome. I can tell you one thing. I'm a lot further from where I started than where I want to be. And it's a good feeling. You know, so many things have changed in my life over the years, and so many things have changed my mindset on things. There was a time in my life where all I wanted to do was be a music producer and be a Grammy Award winning music producer and make a substantial amount of money with the music that came from these hands, this brain, this heart. And I got to the point where I was making a good amount of money. And I just realized that if I wanted to, I'm kind of going off on a tangent. I'm going to reel it back in here in a second. But I realized that if I wanted to maintain my childish love, my childlike love for music, that I needed to go in a different direction, and that I had a whole lot more to offer the world than just putting out beats and writing a hook here and there and working with artists. And I'm always going to do that, guys. I'm always going to work with you guys. I'm always going to put out new music and work on new beats because it's something about it fuels my soul, right? And that sounds deep, but it is. Music is very deep in my roots. You know, my grandmother was an organist and a pianist and a piano teacher, and just absolutely loved music. My dad was a DJ, my mom was a violinist. I've told you these stories before. If not, I thought I did. But I knew I had a lot to offer the world. And selling t-shirts isn't just that. It's the mission behind Just Be is so much more than I could tell you in this video, because you won't watch. You probably aren't even watching right now. But it's exciting. I'm gonna make a video for that. So moving along, in September, I decided to move. I moved into a nice townhouse because the house that I had been living in, I was renting it, and the landlord decided to keep raising the rent. He saw me, doing well for myself, or maybe it was just trying to be greedy, and he just kept raising the rent. And after 2 years, I said, enough is enough. I need to find a better use for my money. So I found a nice townhouse, and I moved in September. September was crazy, guys. September, oh man. I moved in, and like 3 days later, I had to go to Wisconsin. I came back. A few days later, I had to go to Chicago. Came back. 2 weeks later, I went to Vegas. So I'm still, like, my office upstairs, that's why I'm not doing this video in my studio. I'm still putting my studio together, which I'm super excited for, because I am doing an entire video showing you the process of putting the studio together, not just before and after. I really want to take you guys with me on that journey of, this is how it looks when you walk in, and this is what it can turn into when you put a little elbow grease and creativity behind it. So that video is coming here in the near future, and we'll get to that later. In, I don't even remember what month, I think it was like 3 months ago, I did maybe a little longer than that, I did a designer parody. He did a song called Timmy Turner. He did an XXL freestyle of Timmy Turner. It was a hook off of his upcoming single, and the internet went nuts. It kind of went majorly viral because, Designer has a very distinct personality and, charisma to him. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do something with this. So I came up with a stupid parody called John Cena. I dressed up kind of like John Cena. I look like a big 180-pound baby in the video because I just got my hair cut, so you can't see any hair. It looks like I'm bald. I am really sweaty. Some people are like, oh, he oiled himself down. The room that I was shooting that in, it was freaking hot because it was like August. I was like, it was just uncomfortable. So I shot this parody, and you can check out the link maybe in the description, or just go to my channel and check it out. But I did this parody video just off of a whim. Literally, it took me like an hour to write and come up with, and then maybe like another 2 hours to shoot and edit and post. And the thing went viral on Facebook. It did like over 1 million views. It was really a flash in the pan too. It did the numbers and then just stopped. I put it up on YouTube as well, and it did about 200,000 views as of today. Parodies are fun. I do not take parodies seriously, guys. It's not something I want to do as a career. A lot of you guys are like, you need to do more parodies, you need to do this and that. It's like, I always will for fun, but I don't want to be a 40-year-old clown doing parodies. Now, I do the parodies to make you guys smile, and I have a reason for that I'll get to in another video. You know what, I'll just make it really simple right now. When I was in high school, middle school, elementary school, I was picked on a lot. I had acne, my teeth were messed up. Yeah, as you could tell, I have very thick hair, and back then I wanted to have bangs, and I had this, stereotypical 80s/90s hair helmet of a haircut. I just got made fun of a lot. I got bullied a lot. And one thing that was my escape was I'd come home, and my dad had Weird Al, he had Weird Al tapes and CDs, and maybe even a couple vinyls. And the parodies that Weird Al did, like the Food album, like Eat It, and the stupid stuff that Weird Al was putting out, would help me escape the shitty feeling that how I would feel when I'd come home after being beat up or pushed down or picked on, or made fun of or rejected by this group or whatever. And it's made me who I am today, and I would not want to change a thing about it. But that's where parodies hold a place in my heart. I know that even if a lot of people want to make fun of my parodies and dislike them and talk smack in the comments, I know that there's some kid somebody out there who came home from a really shitty day and watched the parody and just smiled, laughed. And that's really what I do it for. I don't do it for the money because, as you guys know, 90% of the parodies I do, I don't make any money on because of how YouTube is with the copyright thing now. I mean, I might make a few dollars, but I mean, I could go work at Arby's for the same amount of time that it takes to make a parody and make more money at Arby's. So I did that parody. It was a lot of fun. Now with the John Cena parody, there was a little bit of strategy behind it. And what was the strategy, you might be asking? Well, in the video, I was wearing a hat. What kind of hat, you might be asking? It's a Just Be hat. What's Just Be? Just Be is my apparel brand that I launched officially August 1st. Now, in the John Cena parody, I also put the Just Be logo, which started generating some interest. People were like, what is that? Because I didn't say anything about it. I just put the logo and I was wearing the hat. So if 1.2 million people saw the hat, I figured, and then the logo, I figured maybe that would strike some interest, and it did. I got a few Instagram followers, and when I finally launched the website in August, I had noticed that there was a influx, is that a word? There was an increase of traffic coming from YouTube, which was pretty cool. So that has been my passion project for this year, is Just Be. The shirt says Just Be Authentic, and that's really the mission behind Just Be. Like I said, I'm gonna make a whole video explaining that and what Just Be means and what the mission behind Just Be is, because it's a whole lot more than just apparel. It's a whole lot more than t-shirts and sweatpants. It is something that I hold really near and dear to my heart. All right, so with that being said, I don't want to turn this video into a commercial for Just Be. I will give you a little update for those who have been asking. We have now shipped out orders to over 9 countries. So shout out to everybody who has been showing massive support over at Just Be. I am ridiculously excited to have a lot of great things coming, such as a whole video series showing you how I went from idea to a real business. Everything from, getting the trademarks, to getting samples made, to ordering inventory and figuring out the budget and figuring out, my target audience. And I'm still kind of figuring some of this stuff out, and it's going to be a learning experience moving forward, but I can't tell you enough how excited I am for it. And thank you once again for everyone who has showed love over at justbe.com and showed support through ordering some super high quality fitness and lifestyle apparel goods. Anyway, all right, so I think it's inevitable that I probably have missed a few events between January 1st and December 30th, 2016. But you know what? It really doesn't matter. I think that I've captured all the major events, of the year, and I'm just glad I got to share this with you guys, honestly. I've never done a whole lot of videos like this before, and so being able to be real with you feels good. Being able to talk to the camera and feel comfortable and get better at this type of thing without saying a million times, which I know I still do, feels good. So if you have any personal questions, any professional questions for me, I want to share that with you. That's going to be a huge part of my 2017, is these type of face-to-face talks, per se. So if you have those questions, feel free to leave those in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer each and every one, probably in a video, honestly, because I'm enjoying this. And as always, guys, make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. If you've made it this far in the video, I love you. You guys are awesome. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed yet. I am going to be putting out a ridiculous amount of videos in 2017, so if you are subscribed, you are on the team. You will be the first to see notifications for when I post new things, and trust me, you're going to want to be there. So, as always, you can find me on social media at Adam Ivy, and I'm talking Snapchat, I'm talking Instagram, I'm talking Twitter once in a while, I'm talking Facebook. You can find me at justbe.com. I encourage you to check out justbe.com. And as always, you can find me at adamivy.com.